Welcome to the Bonus Time Monster Truck Podcast, presented by MonsterTalk, your number one source for the latest news, results, and more from the monster truck world. Meet the hosts for tonight's episode, Ewan Ford, Reagan Szymanski, Wayne Shahaki, and Jackson Morris. So strap yourselves in, because bonus time starts now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Bonus Time Monster Truck Podcast presented by MonsterTalk. I'm your host, Jackson Morris. It is currently 7 in the morning for me. I am so tired, but I'm super excited to be joined by, you guessed it, Reagan Szymanski and Wayne Shahaki, and Ewan Ford hopefully will be here soon later in the podcast. Fellas, how are we doing today? We did this again. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's my cue to just get straight.
We're doing good, Jackson. Looking forward to the third episode. Sorry I missed the second, but it's going to be a fun time. We got a good amount of news for you folks out there, and looking forward to it, Jackson.
Yep.
Let's get right into it.
Chutch, what's your excuse for missing last episode?
Well, let's see. Wait, what was it?
He was still in Indiana. We did say that.
I was eating pizza in Indiana. Oh, I have a really good story for why I wasn't. I was in Indiana, and I had quite the time. I tell you what, I had some Indianapolis pizza with my buddy Colton, and we had a good old time. The driver of the Scout.
Absolutely. Well, as we
shirt or hat.
Yeah. Shout out to Colton Kaiser of American Scout. All right. Well, let's get straight into the podcast. And first, I wanted to start off with something a little different, just a little disclaimer, because this has been spreading like wildfire. And I know that Reagan and Wayne can't really attest to much of this because they weren't on for this episode. But last episode, we talked about the Ford sponsorship rumor and how it might be a thing. But I wanted to make it very clear, in case it wasn't in the last episode, it is just a rumor. As of currently, it was purely speculation and theorizing. I never tried to present it as fact. It is, again, just a rumor and speculation. And, that's kind of what I like to do. I like to speculate about things. We like to, talk about stuff. It's the same thing like the World Finals, what's it called? The World Finals layout for next year. We don't know what that's going to be. We were speculating. The same thing for this. It's not a fact yet. And it only becomes a fact if it is officially... Excuse me. It's only a fact if it officially becomes announced. Obviously, it hasn't yet, so it isn't a fact. It's just a theory, a game theory. So I just wanted to put that out there, make it super duper clear to all my fans. I hate to report on stuff that isn't a thing yet, but I thought that it was a very interesting discussion and that it was a good theory. And obviously, if it doesn't become a thing, it is what it is, but I'm hoping that it becomes real. So I just wanted to put that out there. But our first actual story is even more interesting than that. Travis Mowery, you might remember, retired in, I believe it was Virginia Beach, and he hasn't driven since then. Wanted to focus on his family, and great for him. But for fans wanting to see him drive again, I have good news for you. He will be driving Stone Crusher in Hampton, Virginia. I don't know what's going on with my voice, but this is his first show back since Monsters on the Beach, and I'm super excited to see him here. We're going to be talking about the Hampton lineup in a second, but Stone Crusher is back, or I should say Travis Mowery is back, and he's driving Stone Crusher. I'm really excited to see what he does here. Fellas, what do we think of this news with Travis Mowery coming back and driving Stone Crusher?
I think it's pretty sick. I hadn't seen the guy drive since Virginia Beach, and for especially independent-wise, whenever you see him at independent events, he was always a guy to look out for, always a guy that could pick up like racing wins, freestyle wins and stuff like that. Pretty good at skills too. And I was pretty sad when he announced his retirement because it sounded like it kind of came out of nowhere to me. But this weekend, he'll be filling in his hometown show. He's from Newport News, which is not too far from Hampton, Virginia, and he'll be driving all 4 shows in the Stone Crusher. So that's pretty dope.
Wayne, what are your thoughts about this?
I'm excited. Like Reagan said, he's a really good driver. he's a good guy in general, and he's definitely has a lot of talent under his wing. So see him come and drive Stone Crusher. That's going to be a cool one to get off the resume. Even if it's just a one-time deal to get back in the industry for a little bit, just get a little taste of it every now and then. That's really cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing what Reagan puts on the channel, and looking forward to what Mr. Travis is going to do there in the Crusher. And I've traded out the hat, but I always have my Stone Crusher hat.
Absolutely. 2 hats. He's got a hat collection, believe it or not, and he's probably going to gift my dad another New York Yankees hat, which he can't be. He's probably more excited for. And ladies and gentlemen, as we were talking about this, it's Ewan Ford. Welcome, Ewan. Welcome to the podcast. How are we doing?
I'm doing good. Just got home.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
Well, while you're here, we may as well ask you. Wow, that was great timing. I can't believe that. But what do you think about Travis Mowery driving Stone Crusher?
I think it's very interesting. I said last week that we might see Stone Crusher do a moonwalk, and now Travis Mowery's in it, so it's gonna be fun.
It's a possibility. And I just wanted to also say as well in regards to this that I think this is good for Travis because, you know, while us fans probably prefer him to be driving every single weekend and driving as much as possible and putting on a show for these fans, that I think he probably prefers to do this kind of on and off sort of thing where he's driving every so often, you know, not every single weekend, but certain places. And it's probably good for him as well because he gets to drive different things. You know, he's probably a fill-in. So, you know, he'll fill in for Stone Crusher this weekend. You know, let's say that something happens with, I don't know, Kurt Kramer or something. That's just throwing a name out there. It's not actually going to happen. But, you know, like he could fill in for a multitude of different independent teams. So I think that's good for him that he has a chance to drive for different teams. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see what he has. Wayne, were you going to add something to that?
Just wanted to make sure while we're recording, is it currently recorded? It says recording hasn't started on my end.
It is recording.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited to see it, like I said. And just want to make sure we got everything going, you know? We don't want any lost footage here at the Monster Talk.
We don't need any lost media bonus time stuff. Well, I am recording on OBS, so that is a backup. Sweet. Well, let's move on to our next story. This one, I cannot believe is actually a thing. You guys might remember a driver by the name of Matt Byton. You should, because he was the former Metal Militia driver. He took over Metal Militia when Todd LeDuc moved to Monster Energy because Damon Bradshaw had retired from the sport. He has not driven a monster truck since then. Many people wanted to see when he's driving again. Well, I have some fantastic news for you. If you're an Australian, specifically in the New South Wales area, he will be driving the all-new Crusty Demons Monster Truck in Bankstown, New South Wales, for Crusty Demons. The chassis was formerly Tomcat. I'll put a photo up on screen of what Tomcat is for those that don't know. Used to be a jet-powered monster truck, which was really cool. It isn't anymore, or not to my current knowledge. But it's a very interesting looking truck. It's got the cursed Barefoot USA hood, which looks very strange. But at the end of the day, I'm excited to see Matt Byton behind the wheel again. It's been so long since we've seen him drive. And I think this is an exciting opportunity too. And for those that aren't aware of what Crusty Demons is kind of like the Nitro Circus or Metal Militia sort of things. They do a lot of motorbike stuff, and that's what this show will mostly be. It just also happens that they have a monster truck at this show, so it's very fitting that a motocross rider is driving a monster truck at what is mostly a motocross show. So I'll hand it over to you guys. What do we think about this news involving the Crusty Demons monster truck and Matt Byton behind the wheel? We'll hand it over to Wayne.
Well, I'm really excited. I was a Matt Byton fan when he was driving. He threw it down Metal Militia. I believe it was Detroit that had that wild sidewall back in 2017, 2018. And what an incredible time it was for him to drive. But obviously, his career ended a little early driving trucks. He's been doing freestyle motocross for Monster Jam and other platforms. And now to see him get his feet back behind the wheel of a monster truck, pretty dang cool. So I'm excited. It sounds cool. The Tomcat, former monster truck. That sounds sick. These Australian trucks are so cool, Jackson. I mean, we got nothing like that in the United States. Most unique identities over there. There's still a Tropical Thunder over there, right? And
yeah.
So much cool stuff over there. So I'm excited to see him drive. I think he's going to do great. And going from freestyle motocross back to a big truck, I think he'll do just fine.
Ewan, we'll hand it over to you. What do you think about the Crusty Demons Monster Truck?
Well, it has the cursed Barefoot USA hood. It's also a little chassis history. That chassis, I think, is 30 years old. It's the original bulldozer that Guy Wood had. So it's a 30-year-old chassis. I don't think it could do any Detroit things, but he's gonna try.
Absolutely. Prayers for Matt Biden that truck is not rough, because I can't imagine that thing surviving a huge hit, but I guess we'll see. Reagan, we'll go over to you. What are your thoughts about the Crusty Demons Monster Truck?
I never seen it or anything until I think earlier today it was posted, and I was like, "Oh my god, okay, I'm excited." Matt Biden getting behind the wheel again. I hadn't seen something like that in 5 years, 6 years, and I remember he was one of the highlights of 2017 too for me. I remember when he was filming for Todd, because Todd was filming for Damon. He was doing incredible. He even qualified for the World Finals, and I think he deserved that spot that year. And I was hoping he'd stick around, but unfortunately, he did not.
It was probably down to the Metal Militia sort of contract, because it didn't stick around either. So once Matt had left, Matt had left, Metal Militia left. It was kind of a weird coincidence that they had both left. So, yeah, but I'm excited to see that. And if you're, just a reminder, if you're in Bankstown, New South Wales, or anywhere close to that, make sure to check out the show. I believe it is September 30th. I'll put up the event details on screen. So, again, if you are in the Bankstown, New South Wales area, make sure to check it out and see Matt Biden's return to monster trucks. We'll move on to our next story, our third to last. Alan Pizzo, the driver of Predator, the creator of Predator, there was a post going around saying that he is making a brand new state-of-the-art chassis as of currently. We don't have any news on this, only that it is a state-of-the-art chassis. And I'm really excited to see what this new Predator is going to look like. Obviously, Predator, for the most part, for the last, I think, 30 years, has mostly stayed the same. A few changes. I believe that the cradle is still the same as the 1997 version or something like that. But it has been updated over the years. So by state, and obviously as well, it is a stage 4 monster truck. So stage 5 is what most trucks are now. Stage 4, it is very old, but it still keeps up with the trucks nowadays. So for Predator to become a stage 5 potentially is pretty exciting. So I guess we'll see updates and what happens with this new Predator truck, and I'm really excited. So I'll hand it over to you guys again. Reagan will start off with you. I can't even speak. What are your thoughts about Alan Pizzo's news regarding a brand new chassis for the future?
Yeah, I hadn't even heard about this till you just brought it up right now. I had no idea. And it's if that's what can get him back into Monster Jam stuff, because I know they have their requirements for things like that, I'm so down. I hadn't seen Alan Pizzo drive, I don't think ever, not once in my life. So getting the opportunity to see him compete and maybe some different shows like Monster Truck Throwdowns or Monster Jams and all that, maybe this new chassis would bring about those opportunities.
Absolutely. Ewan, we'll go over to you. What are your thoughts about the new Predator chassis?
Well, it's a new Predator chassis. It's going to be great because I think the last time that chassis was ever updated, his old one was 2007. So it's going to be good, a new state-of-the-art chassis. I know some of his trucks have been building up some crust on them, So it's good to see him build something new.
And Wayne, we'll finish off with you. What are your thoughts about the new Predator chassis?
I'm so excited. I think people give Alan Pizzo a lot of crap. He's been in the industry for 30 plus years, and it takes a lot to run these shows, expenses, and at some point, I believe he had a 4 or 5 truck team. So back in the day, so with running 2 trucks right now, costs have been a lot. What am I looking for? Inflation. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh boy, yeah, it's been quite
Inflated.
Inflated. Yeah, I'm inflated, guys. I'm
We all
excited,
know.
man. Alan has been working hard, I'm sure, and I haven't seen him compete ever either, Reagan. So I'm excited to see what he can do. It would be so cool to see a 3rd truck on the team. If not, he could replace one of them. That is going to be so cool. His current trucks are really set up for racing, but they've been driving just great for however many years. So to see him building a new truck is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it, and I cannot wait to see him compete.
Absolutely. And I wanted to say as well that off of your point, Wayne, that I think that it could be very likely that we see, because remember, he has the Predator name, he has the Prowler name, which I believe he hasn't run in actually, no, it just ran a few weekends. No, it was in Walton, right? Because we covered that, Ewan, didn't we?
Yeah,
I think
with his son behind the wheel.
that who was his son again?
Brandon Pizzo, I think.
That's right. Okay, yeah. And actually, he did make his full-size debut. I remember that was something else that we were supposed to cover. So congrats to Brendan or Brandon or Brandon.
Brandon.
Sorry. Brandon. Okay. Well, congratulations to Brandon Pizzo for getting behind the wheel. But I was just thinking about this as well. He still has Pouncer and Lone Eagle, which I think is like the alter ego to Predator as well. So he has a chance to reuse that old Predator chassis for another one of those names if he felt like running more trucks. Obviously, he's still got the whatever is running as Pounce or Prowler currently, and then his new Predator chassis. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, I'm super excited for that. Congrats to Brandon Pizzo, by the way, as well. We have one more story. Oh, sorry, no, we have 2 more. We have something else that Wayne actually pointed out to me before. Race Palooza, the biggest motorsports event in history, will be coming to NOLA Motorsports Park. It features a wide array of motorsports, including Formula Drift, jet car racing, and monster trucks. It's mainly important for something here that I just noticed is the Saturday event will see the monster truck top speed record attempted to be beaten. We don't know what truck is doing it. There have been some rumors of what it is, but I don't know what exactly it could be. But this is very interesting because in the last couple of years, basically since Monster Jam have done it, we have seen a lot of attempts at breaking the world record for the top speed. Just as a brief history, I believe in the late 2010s, it was Mark Hall in Raminator. I don't know what the speed is, but I'll put it up on screen. Then at the Monster Jam Breaking World Records, it was Bryce Kenny with 100.8 miles per hour or something like that. Again, I'll put it up on screen. And as of just recently, I believe late last year or early this year, it was Joe Sylvester in Bad Habit. So I don't imagine that it would be Joe Sylvester again. I think it could be someone else completely different. I have no idea who this driver will be, but I'm excited to see this record being beaten. And I want to ask you guys, what are your thoughts? Reagan, we'll start with you.
I hadn't even heard about this event. Where is it? I want to go.
It's the
NOLA
day right
Motorsports
after
Park.
All-Star Challenge.
Yeah,
It
November
is?
10th to 11th. Let me have a look at where it is. NOLA Motorsports.
It's 3 days, but all the main stuff happening Sunday.
Avondale, Louisiana, it says.
Okay.
I was going to mention it, but this is the first time I'm mentioning it. I'm thinking about going.
Well, it does sound pretty cool. Is it so it's like a monster truck show and all that?
It's
No,
everything.
not entirely. It's everything. They've got the Street Outlaws, which is pretty cool. They got Formula Drift, they got jet cars, they got a whole bunch of stuff. But they do have monster trucks. So they also do have I believe racing and freestyle on separate days. But one of those days, which I believe is Saturday as of currently, they have the top speed record attempt. is what the schedule said.
Sounds pretty fun right there. That sounds like quite the event. Better keep that on your radar, because now I am. That sounds cool. I have no idea who's going to do it. I just heard about this right now, so I don't know who's even going to be there. I have no idea who's going to try attempting that, but I'm excited to see it. I always want to see those records get beaten.
Absolutely. Wayne, we'll go over to you. I know we talked about this the most, so I'm sure that you probably have a lot of thoughts about what this could mean and who it could be and all of that.
Yeah, I'm excited. For all of you that know the past Tropical Thunder driver, Wayne, I almost got to see him last year before he passed away. I was literally probably a quarter mile from the event 2 years ago, and I was helping out tomfoolery and recording videos and stuff. So I decided not to go to the race, but a month or two later, he passes away. So the series, why I'm bringing that up, is Street Outlaws. It's a huge drag racing event that goes on, huge cash prizes, probably over $100,000 of earnings just from one race. Probably not even the full series. There's probably more than that. Anyhow, it's going to be drag racing. It's going to be monster trucks, jet cars, drifting. Hoonigan's going to be there. It's going to be really sick. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping I'm going. Shout out to Monster Truck Vault, my friend Josh, for making me aware of the event, and it's being marketed as the biggest motorsports event in America. I don't know about in the entire world, but I know it's going to be a really huge event. It's 3 days. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it's certainly one of the biggest and most exciting, but Ewan, I haven't forgotten about you. What are your thoughts about this event and who could be the driver to attempt the record?
Well, the event's gonna be awesome either way. Like whether or not the record gets beat or not, it's a bunch of motorsports stuff. If you're a motorsports person, you probably should go down there just to experience it. And I think Raminator's gonna try to beat it again because I don't think he's doing anything this weekend.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I think that'd be very fitting because those trucks are built for racing. So I think that would be a very fitting thing. A reminder as well, I'll say it again. It is Avondale, Louisiana. It is from November 10th to 12th. That is also the Superstar Challenge weekend. So Friday through Sunday. We don't know what day is the record. Well, it says Saturday, but it's obviously subject to change. We really don't know. I guess we'll keep you posted on news about that. And speaking of news, we have one final news story to talk about. It is Bigfoot 23 from the Bigfoot House. They have shown off their latest, newest truck. As I said, Bigfoot 23. It's a PEI chassis from the looks of it, and it looks absolutely fantastic. From the videos that they posted, it's driving down the street. It's looking absolutely clean. I don't know what else that they're doing with it and what else they have left to do, but it looks fantastic, and I'm excited to see it run. I'm also unaware, as of currently, who is driving it or who's going to be driving it, and obviously where it's going to be seen. I imagine that it will be done before the next season, so we'll see it out on the circuit somewhere. But yeah, I'm really excited. Actually, I just thought about this just now. I want to stress that this is a maybe, so don't say that this is fact. It might be on the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks live circuit. The only reason why I say that is for those that will remember one of the other news videos that I did. They have up to 3 events. Sorry, three different shows per weekend. So they currently have 2 Bigfoots and 2 sets of people. So they're obviously going to be trying to find more people to fill those spots for those tours. So I think, just as a working theory, as of currently, that it could be for Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live, one of those tours. I don't know, just a thought. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing this truck. It looks absolutely fantastic. Ewan, we'll go over to you. What are your thoughts about Bigfoot 23?
It's really I think I found it really strange because it's so different from the other Bigfoots, because I think a lot of the Bigfoots are really longer, and they have different like axles and stuff. But it's really cool to see Bigfoot get a kind of a modern chassis. I don't think they had one since 2014, 15-ish. So it's really cool to see.
Well, Wayne, we'll go over to you. What are your thoughts about Bigfoot 23?
I'm excited. I just saw a video literally an hour ago, and happy to hear that's in the whole segment. It's cool to see Bigfoot have some new technology. We know they have some really good running trucks, and I just want to shout out their open house they do, I think, once a year. But they have all of the Bigfoot trucks, including recently the Hot Wheel bodies running on the Bigfoot trucks at the event, doing it. So it's like 4 to 6 trucks or more freestyle, cool open house. So it's cool to see this truck come out of the shop, and I want to see that run at Hot Wheels or an independent promoter. It'd be so cool.
And Reagan, we'll finish off with you. What are your thoughts about Bigfoot 23?
Bring it to Monster Jam. I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, again, another thing I hadn't heard about. Monster Talk brings me all the news, keeps me up to date. So
likewise,
this is cool. I'll take it. Bigfoot. Keep running. Like we haven't really seen Bigfoot, I guess, like in as many places as we used to. So maybe more chassis, more drivers. We'll kind of put Bigfoot, in a better spot on the independent scene.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, this opens the door for them to put the truck in other more, prominent tours or something like that. But I'm really excited to see this new truck. Well, for the fans that loved this segment in the news, I have, news for you. We have brought it to the podcast. So every Thursday podcast that we do, I call it the Thursday podcast because that's when we're recording, even though for me it's Friday, but I'm Australian, so that's my excuse.
No, man, it's
you don't count.
It's Wednesday.
I know.
It doesn't count.
It's Wednesday.
It's Monday.
Yo, it's like 2 days behind.
Monday.
But yeah, we have the Monster Truck 5 of the Week segment. And for those that didn't know, this was actually Ewan's segment. He was the one that came up with this idea. So for Ewan to be on this and gets to interact with this segment as well, it's great to have him here. Great to have him here and great to have this segment here. So we have the 5 of the Week segment. You guys already know. We talk about the highlight shows that we've looked at. There's about five specific shows, and obviously the 2 main tours. We'll start off with Monster Jam. They're going to be in Hampton, Virginia this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The show will feature Weston Anderson and Gravedigger, Elvis Linez, El Toro Loco, Brianna Mahan, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Tony Oaks, Thunder Roris, Travis Mowery, and Stone Crusher. To be announced driver in Hooked, though it is most likely to be Frank Krimmel, not confirmed yet, just a working theory, Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken, and Mike Pagliarulo in Excalibur. So, unlike the news videos, we're actually going to ask predictions of who we think will do well in each show. So, in regards to Hampton, I think that Weston Anderson, Team Gravedigger, they're always going to do well, but Elvis Linus is back, and Tony Oaks did fantastic last weekend. And to be honest, looking at this, I think Tony Oaks might do especially well because he has the most... I am Brianna, but he has the most experience with the Sky Willy Challenge. He did quite well last week in Rosemont, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do here this week in Hampton. We'll hand it over to you, Ewan, as the creator of this segment. I think it's fitting to ask you first, who is your predictions for Hampton, Virginia?
I got Weston all the way, because Weston in an arena always dominates. It's not even a question if Weston's going to win or not. It really just is Weston being Weston.
Absolutely. Wayne, we'll go over to you. Who are your predictions for Hampton?
I agree with you, and I think Weston's going to be dominating a lot of it. I just want to say I think Frank Kremmel's going to take home a wheelie competition. That man knows how to throw it down vertically. And other than that, I mean, it's probably going to be Gravedigger domination, but you have your bigger names out there, so you never know. It's up to the fans. And it's really up to what they feel like scoring on Judges' Zone.
Absolutely, and I think the Sky Willy competition is really going to play a factor into... Well, I mean, assuming it is here, it's going to play a factor. And hopefully Frank Krimmel is here. Again, we don't know that just yet, but as of recording, it is likely to be him, but it may not be. I guess we'll see. So Reagan, we'll go over to you. I know that you're actually going to be in Hampton, so I think it's also fitting to ask, who are your predictions, or who is your prediction to win in Hampton?
Well, so you got to remember that this is like Gravedigger's hometown show. This is the closest spot Mach Jam goes to Digger's Dungeon, the Outer Banks. So with that being said, Weston, prediction's a lot different from your guys. But you also got to remember, Brianna Mahan just made her competition return last week from like over a year after, having a child and all that. And she was doing like really good, but especially for the first show back when I was at in Rosemont. And I was like, wow, like usually, a lot of people when they come back, they have a little rust, but she was doing like better than ever. So I wouldn't be surprised if she picks up like a couple different competition wins. Like she made it to the final round of racing a couple times last week. Tony Oakes, always one of the most consistent guys out there. And you can't sleep on Nick Pegarulo either. I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up an overall or two out there.
Absolutely. And as well, I think that, Weston's got that dominance, and I think that it's going to be a fantastic show. I won't lie, I kind of just lost my train of thought, and I kind of just made it up on the spot there. But let's move on to our next show. We've actually got two here. It's for the same tour, so may as well combine them both. We have Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live, 2 events in 2 different cities. First city is San Diego, California. Will be this Saturday and Sunday. The full show lineup features 5 Alarm with Craig Christensen, Bigfoot Rebecca Schnell, Bone Shaker Ashton Jensen, Demo Derby Rudy Martin Del Campo, Gangster with Darren Schnell, Mega Rex with Jonathan Elkins, and Tiger Shark with Joe Cypher. And again, we'll combine these two so you guys can give predictions for both Hot Wheels events. Louisville, Kentucky is the other event, also occurring this Saturday and Sunday. That show will feature 5 Alarm with Cody Holman, Bigfoot Cody Smith, Bone Shaker Clint Watson, Demo Derby Taylor Holman, Gangster Eric Steinberg, Mega Rex Mike Phelps, and Tiger Shark with Bobby Holman. A lot interesting, same lineups that we've been seeing for pretty much every single Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live stop so far. I think it's safe to say that the new 5 Alarm truck is a fan favorite already. It's done quite well. It's won quite a few events, especially with Craig Christensen behind the wheel. I think for me that it's safe to say that for the San Diego thing, I'm going to put down my prediction to be Craig Christensen in 5 Alarm. For the other one, I believe that Bigfoot and Gangster have been pretty fantastic. I think that Eric Steinberg could take some wins there. So we'll hand it over to you guys. Wayne, we'll start off with you this time. Who are your predictions for these 2 Hot Wheels shows?
I think our man Craig Champion, right there.
Craig Champion.
Craig Christensen is gonna rock it in San Diego. Reagan's home turf. He will be in Virginia, which is kind of funny. And then the other one, I think Gangster's gonna dominate. I saw Gangster in Rochester, New York, and that was not only the fan favorite, but one of the best performing trucks. So that's my predictions.
Absolutely. Reagan, we'll go over to you. What are your thoughts about these 2 Hot Wheels shows and who you think will take the wins?
Well, it seems to me, I've been to quite a few Hot Wheels events now, that usually the newest truck seems to do the best at the time, where last year it was Gangster was the new truck, and Gangster was getting the wins a lot. And then this year I caught Hot Wheels in Vegas, and then 5 Alarm was killing. So I think it'd be pretty safe to put your bets on 5 Alarm. And I know the drivers of Gangster are both Bigfoot drivers as well, so they are pretty dang good experience. So I'd put my money on those 2.
Absolutely. And Ewan, we'll finish off with you. Who do you think's going to take the wins for Hot Wheels?
I think that usually the newer truck does win, and Craig Christensen's also been in the sport for like 100 years, so he's fairly experienced. So either way, it's going to be a good show. For the other one, I think I want to see Bone Shaker take a couple wins in Louisville.
Bone Shaker, great looking truck. Super excited to see it next. To be honest, super excited to see all of the Hot Wheels trucks next year in July or June. I don't know, one of those 2. I'm super excited to see. I am. I'm definitely going. I'm going to all the Brisbane shows. Super excited to see that. Let's move on to our next event. This is where we get into the actual 5 of the week stuff. Just funny. The Outlaw Monster Truck Drags, their final event for their Triple Crown series. I know Wayne was at the Indiana show, which I'm sure he has some great thoughts about who he thinks might be able to take the win to the final event in the Triple Crown series. They head to Canfield, Ohio this Friday through Sunday, it will feature the same lineup, but I'll go through it again. American Scout, Colton Kaiser, Bad Habit, Joey Sylvester, Barefoot Logan Tweedy, Monster Patrol, not with Austin Tweedy. He announced that he's going to be taking some time off. I believe he's focusing on his family. We don't know who is going to be driving the truck yet. Super excited to see who that is going to be. He's actually hyped it up to be someone pretty prominent. So I'd love to see who that could be. Again, we don't know who is going to be driving it. Rampage will feature Tommy Valerone, Stomper Dalton Van Sky, Toxic Preston Perez, and Rodney Tweedy in USA 1. Predictions, I think for me, that for the racing stuff, to be honest, I have not seen, I think maybe since the very first Outlaw Monster Truck Drags event, I have not seen Bad Habit and Joey Sylvester lose one of those racing competitions. So I think it's safe to say that Bad Habit's going to take one of the racing wins. In terms of best trick or freestyle, I think it's easily, someone like Toxic. Tommy Valerone has been doing quite fantastic in Rampage, so I think he could be a contender to take one of those competitions there. Can't count out Colton Kaiser, American Scout, great driver. I'd love to see Stomper take a win. That's one of my favorite trucks, and especially after the crazy wreck that happened last week. I'm sure that they want to burn it down. Not literally, but figuratively.
Literally.
So, definitely not. I don't think they want to go through that amount of damage again. Wayne, we'll go over to you. I think it makes sense. You got to see the Indianapolis show, the final event in Canfield, Ohio. Who do you think is going to win, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a great time. I was at the four-wheel jamboree, so it was a 3-day setup, and it wasn't just solely monster trucks. They had Jeeps, trucks, and the four-wheel jamboree is really cool. They do it in Bloomsburg too. So the 3 days were good. They did racing, best trick, racing semifinals, and then freestyle, and then they did dual freestyles on Sunday and the racing final before that. And America TV with the diesel monster truck did awesome. Very cool to see. So heading into Canfield, I think your racing winner can be between Toxic and Bad Habit. They're both incredibly fast, and compared to all the other trucks, it seems like they're most set up for racing at the moment. But conditions change, truck conditions change, so you never know. Best trick, if they have that, I think it's going to be Tommy Valerone, my buddy over there in Rampage. He does great, and Jam Customs did a great job on that truck. And freestyle, this is anyone's game, but I could definitely see either Tommy taking it, Bad Habit, Monster Patrol. All those guys are great. It's literally anybody's game for freestyle. But if I have to give a prediction right now, I'm going to go ahead and say that Joe Sylvester and Bad Habit is going to take it. Mr. Joe himself, the tour owner. So we'll see what he could do. Overall champ, I don't know. It's the people's choice.
Absolutely. Reagan, we'll go over to you. Your thoughts and predictions about the Outlaw Drags event.
I think Joe's got it, man. Joe's pretty unstoppable, especially on the Outlaw Monster Truck Drag from all the clips I've seen over the past couple of years. I would not be surprised if he takes everything. But also, you can't be sleeping on Toxic. Toxic, he knows what he's doing behind the wheel, too. So, I don't know. I would say Bad Habit's probably got a good shot, though.
And Ewan, we'll end it off with you. Your thoughts and predictions about the Outlaw Drags event.
I think Joey's probably got it all the way. He's been really consistent with the wins on his tour. But I think I could see Tommy and Rampage get a best trick championship out of this if he. Well, he's really good at skills anyway.
Absolutely. And I think that, because by the way, too, I haven't seen them post points, but I would assume that Joe Sylvester is in the lead. I think that Joe Sylvester would probably take the points championship there. I'm going to move on to our next events. We have three more after this one. It is the International Monster Truck Hall of Fame. They will be hosting the Monster Truck Fall fundraiser event in Butler, Indiana this Saturday, not Monday. The original info I was given was wrong, but we corrected that. That's okay. It is this Saturday, so make sure to check it out. That event will feature Avenger with Jim Cola, Axe with Joe Foley, Black Stallion again will feature Derek I can't even say his last name. Biari. Thank you. very hard last name to say, but he is the world famous Vice Grip Garage YouTube guy. Super excited to see him make his monster truck driving debut. Again, he will be driving Black Stallion. The show will also feature Bugzilla, Randy Barton, Overboard, Jamie Garner, Overkill Evolution, Mikey Vardas II, and Wildside with Zach Garner. Very stacked lineup. These Monster Truck Hall of Fame shows usually have a very stacked lineup. This is no different. I'm going to say right here, right now, I think it's going to be down between Avenger and Overboard. But I think that for many people, the highlight of the weekend will be seeing how Derek does behind the wheel of Black Stallion. Super excited for him to get that opportunity. And I'm really excited. And by the way, for those that are wondering, we talked about it in a news video. All of the money that is made from this event goes straight back into the museum. So by going to this event, by paying for merchandise and showing up and getting these tickets and witnessing this amazing show, you are helping out the museum, and it's definitely a fantastic thing to do. So I'm looking forward to this show. I'll hand it over to you guys. Ewan, we'll start off with you this time. What are your thoughts and who are your predictions for the Monster Truck Fall fundraiser in Butler, Indiana?
It's really anybody's game because this lineup is stacked. You got Team Scream, you got Team Black Stallion, and you got Team Overboard here. All 6 trucks. You can't count out Bugzilla either. Bugzilla can run pretty good too, but it's really, I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see Zach Garner, I think, sweep this show. That's what I think.
Absolutely. Well, Wayne, welcome back. Your thing just timed
Thank you.
out, but good timing. Your thoughts and who you think's gonna take the win here in Butler, Indiana?
I'm looking forward to it. This event is stacked, and like I said, I'd love to go to this event, but if I wasn't committed to some other event this weekend, I would be going to this Hall of Fame show. It is a lot of good talent. All the proceeds go to the Hall of Fame, and it definitely is going to be one of my favorite places to visit in the future. Oh, man, we're jumbled up. Anyhow, I think Zach Garner has a good chance of taking it. He is a top talent these days. You got his father. You got Mikey Vaughters Jr., Sr. You got the Vice Grip Garage driving. Shout out to What's in the Box RCP over in Germany for showing me and Reagan that YouTube channel before I even knew about him driving a truck. Really looking forward to it. But my predictions are going to be, if they do racing, it's going to be probably Mikey Vaughters Jr. or Zach Garner. And freestyle is going to be either Overboard or Wildside.
Great predictions. And Reagan, for this event, who do you have winning? What are your thoughts? Let's hear it.
I got Jamie going all the way, man. Always at these type of shows, Jamie always shows out. I've been seeing Jamie on the Monster Jam arenas for 2 months. And I don't think he's gotten a single competition win due to fan judging, but he's deserved probably more than anyone else I've seen in the past 2 months. He is incredible. And he really gets overshown, I think, in monster trucks in general. And I think he's going to be putting on the moments to watch for this weekend at this show in Butler, Indiana. I mean, I kind of wish I was going to that.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. And again, guys, you should definitely check out this event. There is a lot more info that I put about this event in one of my older news videos from just, I think, a week ago or so. So make sure to check it out. Butler, Indiana, Monster Truck Full Fundraiser. Check it out. We have 2 more lineups to go through. Oh, sorry, we have 3, excuse me. We have Throttle Out Productions. They will be heading to South Buxton, Ontario, Canada this Saturday and Sunday. This is a pretty awesome lineup that you have here. We have Blockhead with Darren Basil, Dirt Crew Ryan Como. That's a very interesting one. I didn't even see that. The Helion truck with Dale Eve, Joe Fly, Jordan Healy, Maximus Jack Brown, Sabotage Crystal Carey, and Trainwreck Matt Bernard. Throttle Out, this tour has some great trucks. I'm kind of sad that we don't have some of my favorites that usually compete on this tour, Crude Behavior and Roughneck, but we do have Dirt Crew, Blockhead, and Maximus, and to be honest, I think those would be my picks to take the wins here, but definitely cannot count out Trainwreck, and Sabotage, and one of my all-time favorites, Joe Fly. So we'll hand it over to you guys. Wayne, we'll start with you this time. Who do you have winning in South Buxton?
It's easy. Joe Fly overall.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all. I love it. We love Joe Fly supporting you, and we'll go over to you. Who do you think will take the win here in South Buxton?
As a part of I'm the #1 fan of Joe Fly, so Joe Fly overalls everything that weekend.
Completely sweeps.
Yeah, Joe!
Can we go 3 for 3, Reagan?
Well, I hate to disappoint, but Joe Fly, I don't know. I never guys. I'm out of the loop.
Wow.
You know me. So you're not going to get a 3 out of 3 from me. So
Oh, no.
I'll just say Maximus Jack Brown. He's been killing on the independent scene. All the shows I've seen him at, he dominates. So
Jack Brown's good.
Absolutely. And he pulled off his first backflip. I know I'm a little late, but he pulled off his first backflip a few weeks ago. I forget which event it was.
He's real good. He's
absolutely.
like, especially recently, this year, he's been really showing his stuff, I think. Especially me getting to see him in person, too. He's like real good.
That Virginia Beach show rocked.
Yeah, definitely. And Maximus is such a good looking truck now. It was before, but it's even better with the new 3D body. And I think for me, Blockhead could take the win. Darren Basil, it's such a fan favorite truck. It's kind of hard not to root for Blockhead. But Joe Fly, let's see a win there. Come on.
Well, can you guys explain to me what Joe Fly is? Because you guys are laughing about it. I actually don't know what it is.
It is a new truck. It is from Jordan. What is his name? Jordan Healy. I believe it used to be like a mega truck or something.
It's diesel too.
It's diesel too.
What?
Yeah, and it's kind of the unofficial name. It doesn't really have like a logo on it. That's kind of just the name that it's referred to as.
I've seen 2 pictures of Joe Fly. One of it completely great, and the other of it completely destroyed. So
yeah, didn't it like have a huge crash a couple of weeks ago or something?
It did. I saw the shocks like completely like above the cab. It was great.
Okay, you guys sold me. I'm changing my prediction. Joe Fly, 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll make sure to educate Reagan about Joe Fly after the podcast.
I need to know about this now. I'm intrigued.
We'll let you. We'll have a days until Joe Fly competes again. Counter we'll put on the YouTube channel. We have 2 more events left. I actually know how to count this time. We have the All-Star Master Truck Tour. They'll be heading to Phoenix, Arizona this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is one of the most unique events that I have seen. Despite All-Star Master Truck Tour not being hosted by a Monster Truck team, Monster Truck Militia is hosted by Team Throttle Monster. This event in Phoenix is exclusively Team Throttle Monster trucks, and it actually has 2 Jurassic attacks, Dalton Widener and Paul Jensen. So they will be driving 2 different Jurassic attacks this weekend. Very interesting. We have Kamikaze with Alberto Trevino, Rockwell Red, Devin Winfield, Velociraptor David Olfer, and Vendetta Mike Christensen. Again, this will be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. This is a stacked lineup. Despite it just being one team, I'm really looking forward to it. I believe Wayne is going to it as well. Before I hand it over to Wayne to give his predictions in regards to this show, I'm going to say right here, right now, that I think Dalton Widener has a huge chance to completely sweep and do pretty well. Can't count out Mike Christensen. Amazing lineup we have here. I'm really looking forward to it. Devin Winfield as well. Especially with his Master Jam experience, has a chance to do really well. Honestly, I could see any one of these drivers at least taking 1 win. There's 3 different shows this weekend. Anyone's game. Wayne, will hand it over to you. I believe you're actually going to this show, so I figure you can start us off with your predictions.
Yeah, first off, I want to excite the fans and let you know there's 6 shows this weekend coming up.
Holy cow.
It's basically a Monster Jam Arena weekend for these guys. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be incredible. And I think you're sleeping on too tall Dave Olfert, baby. He's been keeping a little quiet in the arenas, but when he gets out to these cool shows, I think he'll go pretty ham. Like you said, the boss man, Mike Christensen, and Dalton Widener is one of my favorites. So I definitely have him in my predictions to do good. And I'm going to be seeing my friend Zona Monsters out there. So I'm looking forward to it. It's really fun. I went to the smaller version of this. It was called the Copa County Fair a few months ago, right after Glendale that Sunday. And it had all West Coast trucks. So hopefully the track's even bigger, even better. And we get some moonwalks and really cool team throttle action. And with that, I got to bounce, guys. So thanks for having me. Jackson, it's awesome to see you. And all the viewers out there, thanks for watching.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Wayne, for joining this podcast. Best of luck with whatever you're picking up, and we'll see you for another episode. Take care, Wayne.
I'll see you all soon.
Wish
Bye,
you
buddy
more.
Kings. Bye, buddy.
MonsterTalk action.
Bye, happy guy.
See you, Wayne.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
buddy. Bye, happy guy. He's gone.
Well, it's down to us three.
An exit.
It's a shame he couldn't make the last one, but we've had a great discussion so far. But we're not done yet. So Reagan, we'll go over to you. Your thoughts about this Phoenix event?
It looks cool. I've seen clips of it for years now. I've always wanted to head out, just never had the chance. This looks like the one to go to too. I mean, it's all team throttle trucks. It's like interesting. I've never seen anything like that really. By the way, no one's mentioned Paul yet. I'm highly disappointed in you guys. No one's mentioned Paul. Paul is one of my favorites. I hadn't seen him drive, I guess since the last Monster Jam he did. So it's been quite a while. And that's not going to stop him because it's Paul Jensen, baby. And I think he's going to be getting most of the wins this week in Arizona.
Absolutely. And I believe he did drive, I forget what event it was. I believe it was either another All-Star Monster Truck Tour or it was a Monster Truck Militia show.
Didn't he drive at Miami?
He did. He drove Velociraptor in Miami.
Oh, yes. Well, he drove. So, he drove at Monster. He drove at Monster Jam, and he also drove at a Monster Truck Militia event just a few weeks ago. I believe he did. I'm pretty sure he did. Well, Ewan, we'll go over to you. Your thoughts about Phoenix and who you have taken the win.
Well, it's Team Throttle Monster all the way. Well, obviously, but it's a stacked show. It has some of the best drivers you can find on the independent scene, and I think everyone's probably going to take a win at some point during these 6 shows, so it's going to be really fun.
I mean, with 6 shows, you have a chance for anyone to take the wins here. We have one more event to talk about, and then that is the end for this podcast. Monster Truck Throwdown will be heading to Slinger, Wisconsin this Saturday. The show has a pretty damn good lineup. This is such an exciting event that we have here. But let's get into the lineup. Black Widow, Travis Rife, Just Get It Done 2, Brandon Talachka, Miss Get It Done with Michaela Talachka, Psycho Circus, Mason Rife, Reckless Driving, Elliot Miller, Elliot not normally driving, Reckless Driving, I just said driving twice, that's funny. So very interesting to see Elliot Miller get to drive Reckless Driving, and Sinister with Athena Cazell. So we have a fantastic lineup here. Last time in Slinger, it was all Brandon Talachka, but with Elliot Miller behind the wheel this weekend, I think it's safe to say that they could, the Talachkas could take home a win. It's only one event. I think that any one of those could take it. As well as that, I think Psycho Circus has a good chance of taking the best trick or wheelies. I forget which one they do. Best trick win as well with that amazing slap wheelie that those trucks can get. Holy dooly. I think that they could easily take one of those wins, but for the most part, I'm going to put it down to Brandon Talachka of Just Get It Done 2. Ewan, we'll go over to you. Who are your predictions for Slinger?
I think I as you said, I think I have Brandon Talachka getting the win in I believe it's figure 8 again at the track, which is going to be a very interesting track. We haven't seen that since last year at Slinger. And I think also you mentioned Psycho Circus. Yeah, Psycho Circus get a wheelie off anything somehow. I just see it hit one car and it somehow caught a slap wheelie off of it. So I think it could get best trick or wheelies, whatever they do. It's just going to be a fun show with a really fun track.
It's such a well-built truck, and you're absolutely right. The track is impeccable, and I cannot wait for this year. Reagan, Your thoughts. Who are your predictions for this event?
I'm going the Toluchkas all the way. Brandon, he's one of the best independents in Monster Jam by now. Again, another guy I don't think a lot of people talk about, maybe just because they haven't seen a lot of them, but I've seen a lot of them, and he's incredible. He's got control behind that truck like no other. I'm betting on him. And Elliot Miller, too. I want to see him drive more. I know he drives quite a bit, but I want to see him drive a lot more than he does because he's got tons of potential.
Absolutely. Whether or not he's behind Reckless Driving, the Frontier Truck Parts, or Sinister, he is just a phenomenal driver, going from Monster Jam, I believe, oh God, I'm going to sound like a goose, AV manager or something. I know he worked for Monster Jam for quite a little bit, to then becoming the manager of Monster Truck Throwdown, to now owning a couple of trucks and still managing the tour. He is a great talent. Guys, I'm going to ask final thoughts, but instead of doing it the usual way, I'm going to say final thoughts in regards to which is your favorite event that we have talked about and which one you are most excited for. I think, Reagan, for you, it's kind of obvious. I assume that you're most excited for Hampton because that's where you're going. But I may as well ask, is there any others that you're excited to see on social media or whatever?
I don't mean to say this in like a bad way, but I don't think Hampton's really what I'm most excited for this weekend. It just happens to be where I'm going.
Yeah.
That Bigfoot show looks really cool. That would be something that I'd like love to see, like especially the Hall of Fame show too. That would be dope. That's definitely bucket list. I think the Hall of Fame show is like probably what I'm most excited to see like footage from this weekend, because that's something I would love to attend hopefully next year.
Especially with Derek driving. And Ewan, creator of the segment, what's your favorite lineup that you've, because just for those that are at home, other than the Monster Jam and Hot Wheels stops, which we always cover because they usually have shows every weekend, and obviously those two are arguably the two biggest tours, we include them in every single one. But for the other ones, you're the ones that actually picks these lineups for us to talk about. So I want to ask you, which is your favorite, since you're not going to any of these events, which is your favorite lineup, including the Monster Jam and the Hot Wheels shows that you've curated?
I think my favorite personally is going to be the Outlaw Monster Truck Drags event. Just because of the track alone at Canfield, he always tends to bring out these two bus jumps at Canfield for the last couple of years, and he always goes big at the final event. So I think just for the track alone, I want to see what he does with Canfield, and the lineup is pretty stacked this year.
Especially with the end of the Triple Crown series, I think you're absolutely right. He's going to go all out for the Outlaw Monster Truck Drags Triple Crown finale. Make sure to check that out. And folks, that is the end of Bonus Time Episode 3. I'm super thankful for Wayne and Reagan and Ewan joining this episode. I'm super excited to bring you guys more episodes of Bonus Time each and every week. Remember, we are also on Spotify and YouTube Music. You can check out the audio-only version, or if you want to see our beautiful faces, check us out on YouTube. I'm sure most of you probably check us out on YouTube anyway. Make sure to check out Reagan's footage from Hampton, Virginia. Make sure to check out Wayne's footage from Phoenix, Arizona. And for more Monster Truck amazing content, check out myself. I'm sure you guys probably already watched my stuff, but make sure to check out all of the exciting action. We will be back hopefully this Wednesday or something for another episode recapping all the things over the weekend and all the new developing things, and with the countdown for the end of the year, and for me especially, the Australian Monster Jam Tour. Super excited for. It's going to be really exciting, and I'm super excited to bring you guys more exciting action. Everyone, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you with another exciting episode of the Bonus Time Monster Truck Podcast. Good night, everybody.